Hello. So, you need some clarification on place value. Well, what do you suppose all these numbers have in common? You might have guessed it from the fact that we're talking about place values. And if you did, you would be right. All of these numbers have in common that they are in the same place value, and that is the ones place. And so that might seem obvious that it's just a list of numbers from 0 to 9, but the thing is, our number system has a commonality or a theme that runs through it, and everything goes up by tens. So let's think about this. If I were to add a 1 along this row, what would I get? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And if you notice that the one spot stays the same the entire time, and every time we go 10, we go up to the next place value, which is a 1 in the 10 spot. And if we do it again and do 2, we'll get the 20s in the tens place value. And we could do this for every single one of these, and every time we're going up by 10. And you can probably notice, or it might be easy to see, that if I was going from 0 to 10 or 10 to 20 or so on, that I'm going up by 10, right? Well, the same way that the one spot, when you go up a group of 10 of the ones, you go to 10. If you go up a group of 10 of the tens, we'll get 100. And you can see it's 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Easy. So the main idea for place values is that when you're moving up from one place to the next place value, you're going up by 10 of that place value to get to the next one. So this would be the ones, this would be the tens, this would be the hundreds, and then the thousands, and so on. Every time going up by 10 groups of the first or the previous place value to get to the next one. So if we're thinking about that, how many of the ones does it take to move up to the next place value? 10 ones. How many of the tens does it take to go up to the next place value? 10 tens. And then how many does it take, how many of the hundreds value does it go or take to go to the thousands? Well, it would be 10 100s. And just to check ourselves, let's make sure that works. If we want to go to thousands or 1,000, we said that it'll take 10 100s. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, all those zeros add up to 0. All those zeros add up to 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1,000. Awesome. Okay. So this may seem pretty straightforward, but it's actually pretty important to know, especially if you're working in the metric system. Let's say that this was a meter. Actually, you know what? This is probably pretty close to a meter. So let's say that this whole board is a meter. And if we ended up dividing this into 10 pieces, 9, 10. Let's imagine those are even. Well, we would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we divide this up into 10 equal pieces, and this was a meter, then we would call this 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and 10/10. Okay, so we're assuming this is a meter. Maybe I should just fix this and say that this is 10/10 right here. So we could just call it a tenth or 2/10 or 3/10, but to make things easier, scientists and mathematicians have decided to make names for things like this, like decimeter. It's a meter, but it's in tenths, and so we use this to call it a decimeter. If we had 10 of these 10 meters, 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, if we had 10 of them, we'd actually have a decameter. And there's lots of different names for different fractions or multiples of meters, but these are just two that we're talking about right now. And even though it may seem difficult, it actually makes things really easy when you're trying to talk about different measurements of things. And when we're talking about the metric system, it actually works way, way better than something like a foot or inches, because just like our number system that's from 1 to 10, all metric system is in groups of 10. So if we have 10.2 meters, it would be 10 of these meters and then 0.2, right? If we were to do this with 12 or 10.2 feet, it'd actually be way more difficult, because we'd have, I don't know, this is about a foot, and we'd have 10 of those, but then 0.2 of a foot, because it's broken down into 12 pieces, because there's 12 inches in 1 foot, it's actually not the same. It doesn't work the same. We wouldn't get 2 inches like we get 2/10 of a meter or 2 decimeters. So that's it for today, and let me know if you have any questions.